Chosen one, get ready. A large amount of unexpected money is coming. If you are reading this right now, do not scroll away, because something deeply important is unfolding in your life at this very moment. And missing these words could mean overlooking a blessing that has been quietly prepared for you by God with love and perfect timing. Type 444 if you believe. There are seasons in life when everything feels slow, uncertain and heavy, yet behind the silence, God is already arranging what your heart has been waiting for with gentle care and divine purpose. This is not just about money, but about a shift that brings relief, restoration, and a sense of peace that only comes when God opens a door no one else can control. Please take a moment to like this video, because your simple act of support helps spread this message of hope to someone else who may be praying quietly and waiting for a miracle to touch their life. There was once a soul who walked through days filled with quiet struggle, carrying burdens that no one else could fully see or understand, yet holding on to faith like a small light in the darkness. That soul believed in God even when nothing seemed to change, and trusted in Jesus Christ as a source of comfort, even when answers felt far away and the road ahead seemed unclear. The nights were long and filled with silent prayers, and the days were heavy with effort, but something beautiful was being prepared beyond what the eyes could see. God does not forget the tears that fall in silence, and He never ignores the prayers that come from a sincere heart, even when they are whispered with trembling faith. There is a divine timing that works quietly, shaping moments, aligning opportunities, and preparing blessings that arrive when the soul is ready to receive them with humility and gratitude. The unexpected money that is coming is not just a random event, but a carefully placed gift, designed to lift burdens, open new paths, and remind you that you are seen, valued, and deeply loved by God. This blessing does not come as a reward for perfection, because no one walks this earth without flaws or mistakes, but it comes as a sign of God's grace, showing that His love reaches beyond human limitations and touches lives in ways that feel both surprising and deeply comforting. It may arrive through a person, an opportunity, or a sudden change in circumstances, but when it comes, it will carry a sense of peace that confirms its divine origin. There was a moment in that soul's journey when doubt tried to whisper louder than faith, when the heart questioned whether things would ever change. Yet, even in that moment, God was working behind the scenes, moving pieces into place with quiet precision. The delay was never denial, and the waiting was never wasted, because every step of the journey was shaping strength, patience, and a deeper trust in something greater than human understanding. As the days continued, small signs began to appear, subtle yet meaningful, like gentle reminders that something was shifting, something was opening, and something was drawing closer with each passing moment. These signs were not loud or dramatic, but they carried a quiet reassurance that God was near, guiding, protecting, and preparing a path that would soon reveal itself in a way that could not be ignored. The unexpected money that is coming is also connected to a deeper healing, because financial blessings often carry emotional relief, lifting the weight of worry and replacing it with a sense of security and calm. It is not just about the amount, but about what it represents, which is God's provision, God's care, and God's promise that you are not alone in your journey. This moment is also a reminder of the teachings of Jesus Christ, who spoke about faith, trust, and the power of believing, even when circumstances seem uncertain. His life was filled with compassion, kindness, and a deep understanding of human struggles, and his message continues to inspire hearts to hold on to hope, even in the most challenging times. The soul in this story began to feel a shift within, a quiet sense of peace that replaced the earlier restlessness, as if something unseen was gently assuring that everything was going to be all right. This peace did not come from external changes at first, but from an inner knowing that God's plan was unfolding exactly as it should. Soon, what was once invisible began to take form, and what was once uncertain began to feel real, as opportunities appeared in ways that felt almost too perfect to be coincidence. The unexpected money started to move closer, not as a distant possibility, but as a present reality that could be felt and recognized with gratitude. This is your reminder that God's blessings often arrive when they are least expected, yet most needed, and they carry with them a sense of timing that feels both surprising and deeply right. The journey you have been walking has not been in vain, and every moment of faith has been leading you toward this very point. There is a gentle invitation in this moment to trust more deeply, to release the weight of worry, and to open your heart to receive what God is placing in your life with love and intention. The blessing that is coming is not just for survival, but for growth, for peace, and for a future that feels brighter and more secure. The story continues to unfold with a sense of quiet wonder, as the soul realizes that everything that once felt uncertain was actually part of a greater plan, one that was guided by God's wisdom and filled with His unwavering love. This realization brings a deep sense of gratitude, not just for the blessing itself, but for the journey that made it possible. Most people ignored this strange 7-second exercise when they first heard about it. That changed when stories began surfacing from people who had paid off debt, upgraded their lifestyles, purchased new homes, and experienced unexpected financial improvements. A recently surfaced CIA document points to an unusual brainwave process that is rapidly gaining attention online. Reports claim that 4 separate neuroscience research teams examined the method and found evidence that it may help shift mental patterns connected to wealth, opportunity, and personal success. Those who once struggled financially now say money seems to appear in ways they never anticipated. As interest grows, information about this method is becoming increasingly difficult to find. Click the link in the description and comments below to learn what everyone is talking about. In this moment, there is a feeling of being held, supported, and guided by something greater than anything the world can offer. And it brings a calm assurance that whatever comes next will also be filled with purpose and meaning. The unexpected money is just one part of a much larger story, a story of faith, resilience, and the quiet power of trusting in God. There was a deep realization forming inside, one that did not come from sudden excitement, but from a steady and peaceful understanding that everything was aligning in a way that only God could arrange. The heart began to soften, letting go of past worries and doubts, while embracing a quiet confidence that something beautiful was about to unfold in ways that would bring both relief and joy. The teachings of Jesus Christ became more alive in this moment, not as distant words, but as a living comfort that wrapped around the soul with warmth and reassurance. His message of trust, patience, and love felt closer than ever, guiding thoughts away from fear and toward a place of hope that felt steady and unshaken. It was as if every moment of waiting had gently prepared the heart to receive not just a blessing, but a transformation. Days passed with a different feeling, lighter and more peaceful, as small changes began to appear in everyday life, each one carrying a quiet sense of promise that could not be ignored. There were moments of unexpected kindness, sudden opportunities, and subtle signs that everything was moving forward in a way that felt guided rather than random. The unexpected money that is coming now felt less like a distant idea and more like a present reality, slowly revealing itself, bringing with it a sense of stability that touched every part of life. It was not only about financial relief, but about the lifting of a heavy weight that had been carried for far too long, replacing it with a calm assurance that everything would be taken care of. There was a moment when the soul paused and reflected on the journey, remembering the nights filled with silent prayers and the days marked by quiet perseverance. Those moments were no longer seen as struggles, but as steps that had built strength, shaped faith, and deepened trust in God's plan. Every tear, every moment of doubt, and every whisper of hope had led to this turning point. The heart began to feel gratitude even before the blessing fully arrived, understanding that God's provision is not limited by timing or circumstances, but flows in a way that is always perfect and always filled with love. This gratitude created a space within the soul, making it ready to receive more than it had ever imagined. There was also a gentle awareness that this blessing carried a purpose beyond personal comfort, as if it was meant to bring light not only into one life, but into the lives of others as well. The unexpected money was not just a solution to a problem, but a doorway to new possibilities, new beginnings, and new ways to share kindness and compassion. As the days continued, there was a growing sense of alignment, where thoughts, emotions, and circumstances all seemed to move together in harmony, creating a feeling that everything was finally falling into place. This harmony brought a deep peace that could not be disturbed, because it came from knowing that God was in control of every detail. There was a moment when the blessing began to take a clearer form, and it felt almost overwhelming in its beauty, not because of its size alone, but because of the love that was felt within it. It was a reminder that God sees every need, understands every struggle, and responds with care that goes beyond human understanding. The soul felt a quiet joy, not loud or overwhelming, but steady and comforting, like a gentle light that continues to shine even in the darkest places. This joy was not dependent on circumstances, but rooted in the presence of God, who had been there through every step of the journey. There was also a sense of renewal, as if something old had been gently released, making space for something new and meaningful to take its place. The past no longer held the same weight, and the future no longer felt uncertain, because everything was now seen through the lens of faith and trust. Type 222, if you walk by faith. The blessing that is coming carries more than just financial change, as it brings emotional healing, spiritual growth, and a deeper connection to God that feels both personal and powerful. It is a reminder that life is not just about what is seen, but about what is felt, believed, and trusted within the heart. There is a gentle unfolding happening, one that continues to reveal new layers of understanding, showing that every moment of waiting had a purpose, and every delay carried a hidden blessing that would only be understood in time. This understanding brings peace, because it shows that nothing was ever wasted, and everything was part of a greater plan. The soul now walks forward with a quiet confidence, knowing that whatever comes next will also be guided by God's love and wisdom, bringing new opportunities and new blessings that will continue to shape a life filled with purpose and meaning. There is no longer a need to rush or force anything, because everything is arriving exactly when it should. This chapter of the journey feels different, filled with a sense of calm anticipation, where the heart is open, the mind is at peace, and the spirit is ready to receive what has been prepared with such care. It is a moment of quiet celebration, where faith meets reality, and hope becomes something that can be touched and experienced. What if the ability to attract greater wealth has been inside your mind all along? Newly revealed CIA-related research describes a brief 7-second routine believed to activate a little-known mental state associated with abundance and achievement. According to reports, the technique was reviewed by multiple neuroscience laboratories and is now being used daily by thousands of people looking to escape financial pressure and create a life filled with freedom, travel, and opportunity. Due to growing attention, access to this information may not remain available for long. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. As the story continues to unfold, there is a deep understanding that this is only the beginning, and that more blessings, more growth, and more moments of beauty are yet to come. The presence of God remains steady and constant, guiding each step with love and ensuring that the path ahead is filled with light, even in moments that may seem uncertain. The unexpected money is now part of a larger story, one that speaks of grace, provision, and the quiet power of believing in something greater than oneself. It is a story that continues to grow, bringing new meaning and new depth with every step forward. In this stillness, something deeper began to grow, a stronger connection with God that felt personal, close, and steady, as if every breath carried a reminder that divine love was always near and always active. This connection brought comfort in ways that words could not fully express, replacing uncertainty with a sense of belonging that felt safe and complete. The presence of Jesus Christ became like a gentle light in the background of every thought, softly guiding choices, calming fears, and reminding the soul that nothing in life happens without purpose or meaning. His example of patience and trust created a quiet strength within, helping the heart remain steady, even when things around it continued to change. As time moved forward, the changes that had once been small and subtle began to grow more visible, unfolding in ways that felt almost too perfect to be chance, yet deeply natural in the flow of God's plan. There were moments when doors opened without struggle, when help arrived without asking, and when solutions appeared exactly at the right time. The unexpected money that is coming now felt very close, like something already within reach, carrying with it a sense of relief that touched not only the mind but also the body and spirit. The weight that had once been carried so heavily began to lift, replaced by a gentle feeling of security that brought calm and rest. There was a beautiful shift in perspective, where the soul began to see every part of the journey as meaningful, even the hardest moments that once felt confusing and painful. Those moments were now understood as preparation, shaping the heart to be ready for what was coming, building a foundation of faith that could hold the blessing with grace and wisdom. The heart started to open in new ways, becoming more aware of the goodness around it, noticing small details that once went unseen, and feeling a deeper appreciation for life itself. This awareness brought joy that did not depend on circumstances, but flowed from a quiet trust in God's presence. There was also a growing sense of responsibility, not heavy or overwhelming, but gentle and inspiring, as if the blessing that was coming carried a purpose that extended beyond personal comfort. It felt like an invitation to use what was received in a way that reflected love, kindness, and compassion, touching the lives of others in meaningful ways. As the blessing drew nearer, there was a moment of reflection that felt deeply emotional, where the soul recognized how far it had come, how much it had endured, and how strongly it had held on to faith even in the darkest times. This recognition brought a sense of peace that felt complete, as if every part of the journey had finally come together in a beautiful and meaningful way. The days began to feel lighter, not because life became perfect, but because the heart was no longer weighed down by fear or doubt. There was a quiet confidence that everything would be all right, a steady belief that God's plan was unfolding exactly as it should. Type 1111 to receive miracles. The blessing that is coming carries a gentle reminder that God's timing is always perfect, even when it feels slow or uncertain, and that what is meant to arrive will never be lost or delayed beyond what is necessary. This understanding brings a deep sense of trust, allowing the soul to rest in the knowledge that everything is being handled with care. There was a moment when the reality of the blessing became undeniable, when something shifted in a way that could be seen and felt clearly, bringing a sense of joy that was both quiet and powerful. It was not overwhelming or chaotic, but calm and steady, like a gentle wave that fills the heart with warmth. This moment was not just about receiving, but about understanding, realizing that God's love had been present in every step of the journey, guiding, protecting, and preparing the way. It was a reminder that nothing had been random, and that every experience had carried meaning and purpose. The soul began to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose, not rushing ahead, but walking with intention and peace, knowing that each step was guided by something greater. There was no longer a need to control everything, because trust had replaced fear, and faith had replaced doubt. The unexpected money now felt like a natural part of the journey, something that belonged, something that was meant to be received with gratitude and used with wisdom. It was not a surprise anymore, but a confirmation of everything that had been felt and believed along the way. There was also a deep sense of gratitude that filled the heart, not only for the blessing itself, but for the journey that made it possible, for the lessons learned, the strength gained, and the faith that had grown stronger with each passing day. This gratitude created a sense of fullness that went beyond material gain, touching the very core of the soul. As this chapter continued to unfold, there was a quiet awareness that more was still to come, more growth, more understanding, and more moments that would reveal the beauty of God's plan in ways that could not yet be imagined. This awareness brought excitement, but also peace, knowing that everything would happen in its own time. Some are calling this one of the most remarkable wealth discoveries ever revealed. Newly uncovered CIA files describe a simple 7-second brainwave technique believed to help recondition the mind for prosperity and abundance. Supported by findings reportedly reviewed by 4 neuroscience research centers, this daily practice is attracting attention from people seeking financial breakthroughs. Many claim it helped them move from financial struggle to greater stability, freedom, and success. Information surrounding this technique is becoming harder to locate online. Click the link in the description and comments below before it is gone. The presence of God remained constant, steady, and unchanging, providing a sense of security that nothing in the world could take away. This presence became the foundation upon which everything else was built, creating a life that felt grounded, stable, and filled with purpose. The story continued with a gentle flow, carrying the soul forward into new experiences, new opportunities, and new blessings that would continue to shape a life filled with meaning and joy. Every step felt guided, every moment felt held, and every breath carried the quiet assurance that everything was exactly as it should be. The heart had begun to understand that true security does not come from what is seen in the world, but from the quiet assurance that God provides in ways that go far beyond human understanding. This understanding brought a calm strength that did not depend on circumstances, allowing the soul to remain steady even when life continued to change around it. The presence of Jesus Christ felt even closer now, like a soft and constant companion who walks alongside every moment, bringing comfort, guidance, and a sense of belonging that could not be replaced by anything else. His life and teachings had quietly shaped the way the soul now viewed everything, turning uncertainty into trust and fear into quiet hope. There was a new kind of clarity emerging, where things that once felt confusing now began to make sense, as if each piece of the journey was finally finding its place in a larger and more beautiful picture. This clarity did not come all at once, but gently, revealing itself in moments of reflection and stillness where the heart could truly listen. The unexpected money that is coming was now understood as more than just provision, as it carried a deeper meaning that touched the soul in ways that went beyond material need. It was a sign of God's care, a reminder that nothing is overlooked, and that every need is known even before it is spoken. There was a moment of quiet gratitude that filled the heart completely, where the soul paused and simply felt the presence of God without needing anything more. This moment brought a deep sense of peace, as if everything that had once been heavy was now being gently lifted and replaced with light. As the days continued, the feeling of alignment grew stronger, with each moment flowing naturally into the next, creating a sense of harmony that felt both calming and reassuring. There was no longer a struggle to understand what was happening, because the heart had learned to trust the process, knowing that everything was unfolding exactly as it should. The blessing that is coming carried with it a sense of responsibility that felt gentle and meaningful, as if it was meant to be used in a way that reflects God's love and kindness. This understanding brought a quiet desire to give, to share, and to bring light into the lives of others in ways that felt sincere and natural. There was also a deep healing taking place, one that reached into the past and gently softened the pain that had once been carried for so long. The soul no longer held on to those moments with heaviness, but released them with a sense of peace, understanding that they had served a purpose in shaping strength and resilience. The journey had created a new perspective, where even the smallest moments were seen as meaningful, and every experience was valued as part of a greater story. This perspective brought joy that felt simple and pure, allowing the heart to appreciate life in a deeper and more fulfilling way. Type 1212 to claim miracles. The unexpected money now felt like a natural extension of everything that had been unfolding. Not something separate, but something connected to the growth, healing, and faith that had developed over time. It was a continuation of God's work, a visible expression of something that had been happening within the soul all along. There was a sense of readiness that had not been present before, a quiet confidence that the soul could now receive this blessing with wisdom and grace, using it in a way that honors God and brings goodness into the world. This readiness was not about perfection, but about growth and understanding. The heart felt open and peaceful, no longer guarded by fear or uncertainty, but willing to receive and embrace what was being given with gratitude and humility. This openness created a space where blessings could flow freely, without resistance or doubt. There was also a quiet excitement, not loud or overwhelming, but steady and calm, like a gentle anticipation of something beautiful that was about to fully arrive. This feeling brought warmth, filling the soul with a sense of joy that was both comforting and uplifting. The presence of God continued to be the foundation of everything, providing a sense of stability that nothing else could offer. This foundation made it possible to face the future without fear, knowing that whatever comes will be guided and supported with love. The story was now moving into a new phase, one that felt lighter, brighter, and filled with possibilities that once seemed distant or unreachable. Every step forward carried a sense of purpose, as if the path itself was being illuminated with care. There was a deep understanding that this blessing was not the end of the journey, but a new beginning, opening doors to experiences that would continue to shape and grow the soul in meaningful ways. This understanding brought peace, because it showed that life is always moving forward, always evolving, always guided by something greater. The unexpected money was now part of a larger picture, one that included healing, growth, purpose, and a deeper connection to God that would continue to strengthen with time. It was a reminder that blessings come in many forms, and that each one carries a message of love and care. For years, people have wondered why some individuals seem to attract wealth and opportunity more easily than others. Leaked CIA research may offer an unexpected explanation, A hidden 7-second mental exercise is helping ordinary people develop a stronger prosperity-focused mindset from home. Reports suggest that 4 neuroscience labs evaluated the process and observed unusual results. Users describe paying off debts, making long-desired purchases, and experiencing a greater sense of financial confidence. This information may not remain public for much longer. Click the link in the description and comments now to discover the technique before it disappears. There was also a gentle understanding that this blessing was not only about meeting needs, but about restoring balance, bringing harmony into areas of life that had once felt strained or uncertain. It carried a sense of order, as if everything was being placed exactly where it needed to be. The heart began to feel lighter in a new way, not just because of the coming blessing, but because of the trust that had been built along the journey. This trust created a freedom that allowed the soul to rest without fear, knowing that everything was being handled with care. There was a quiet unfolding of purpose, where the soul began to see how this blessing could be used in ways that bring goodness into the world, touching lives, creating opportunities, and spreading kindness in simple and meaningful ways. This purpose brought a sense of direction that felt clear and steady. The days continued with a gentle rhythm, each moment flowing naturally into the next, creating a life that felt balanced and peaceful. There was no longer a sense of rushing or striving, but a calm acceptance that everything was arriving at the right time. Type 222 if you walk by faith. The blessing that is coming carried a warmth that could be felt deeply, like a quiet embrace that reassures the soul that it is seen, loved, and cared for in every possible way. This warmth replaced the earlier feelings of uncertainty, creating a sense of comfort that stayed steady throughout each day. There was also a sense of healing that continued to move through the heart, gently softening old wounds and bringing peace to memories that once felt heavy. This healing was not forced or sudden, but natural and calm, like a slow and steady flow that restores balance over time. The soul began to move forward with a quiet confidence, trusting not only in the blessing that was coming, but in the journey itself, knowing that every step was guided and meaningful. This confidence did not need to be loud or visible, because it was deeply rooted in faith. There was a moment when everything felt aligned in a way that could not be ignored, where thoughts, emotions, and circumstances all seemed to come together in harmony, creating a feeling of completeness that was both comforting and beautiful. This alignment brought a sense of peace that felt lasting and real. The unexpected money was now seen as part of a greater story, one that included growth, healing, purpose, and a deeper connection to God that would continue to strengthen over time. It was a reminder that blessings are never just about one thing, but about the many ways in which life can be enriched. There was a deep sense of gratitude that filled the heart, not only for what was coming, but for everything that had been experienced along the way. This gratitude created a feeling of fullness that went beyond material gain, touching the very essence of the soul. The presence of God remained constant, steady, and unwavering, providing a foundation that made everything else feel secure and stable. This presence was not distant or unreachable, but close and personal, felt in every quiet moment of reflection. The story continued to unfold with grace, bringing new experiences, new understanding, and new opportunities that would continue to shape a life filled with meaning and peace. Every step felt supported, every moment felt guided, and every breath carried a quiet assurance of love. There was a gentle awareness that more blessings were still ahead, more moments of beauty waiting to be revealed, and more experiences that would bring joy and understanding in ways that could not yet be imagined. This awareness brought comfort, allowing the heart to remain open and trusting. What if financial success has less to do with luck and more to do with a hidden signal within the mind? According to recently revealed information, a powerful brain frequency may help people recognize opportunities, increase focus, and attract greater abundance. Thousands are already exploring this technique and sharing surprising results. Click the link in the description and comments now to activate the wealth-focused brainwave today. The soul now rested in a place of peace, knowing that everything was unfolding exactly as it should, guided by the wisdom and love of God. This peace was not temporary, but steady and enduring, creating a life that felt grounded and secure.